Sports Podcast. I said, welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast with Andy Ruther and Joe Prano. Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast.
Welcome to the Dirty Sports Podcast. I'm your host, Andy Ruther, coming to you live from Cincinnati, Ohio, with my co-host from Port Hueneme, California, Joey No Chill Prano.
Hello, Andy.
Good morning, man.
Morning.
How you doing?
Good, man. How's your Halloween? I messaged you. Said, how did Isla do on the over-under? You said, crush the over.
She did. With the second effort.
You trying to qualify this?
No.
How many houses did this girl go and get Halloween candy at?
More than 5.5. Well, I'm just saying, like, she did 2 with me and then wanted to go back inside my brother's house and play.
Okay.
And there had to be some serious nudging from Brittany, but it helped because she wanted to go with my nephew.
Got it.
I'm just saying, like, I think she would have crushed the under had we stayed home.
Right.
Okay. You can't, kids, whatever. She did it, and then I crushed her candy. So
good. Is she not like obsessed with candy? She didn't like think about the candy aspect of it, or
no? She is, but I think we've learned she doesn't really like it as much as she thinks she does. Yesterday she tried a Snickers, a Twix, and a Reese's, all of them, and she's like, like says I like it and then doesn't eat it.
No, maybe not a chocolate person.
That's what we're kind of getting to, which I'm like, are you related to me? Big chocolate guy over here.
Mixing some Laffy Taffies for her, you know?
No, I don't. It's more of like she's more of like a cookie little girl.
Cookie girl.
Like something like that. Like I've got her, she like loves, for example, she loves like the Trader Joe's yogurt pretzels. And chips. So she's a snacker. I don't know. I give her all the crap. All the crap my brother at the dentist like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Goldfish are terrible for teeth. Which I just realized. He's like, they're terrible for teeth.
Because they just get stuck in there?
He's stuck in there because there's a lot more sugar in that than you think. Yeah. Don't ever talk to a dentist.
Yeah.
Because then they'll be like, well, this is actually.
I'm be like, you took a job where you torture children. So what are we talking about here?
This is true. This is very true. We had a good weekend of sports, though.
Unbelievable weekend. Let me tell you my World Series Game 7 story. So that was Saturday
night.
Yeah, Saturday the 1st. So I had a show up in Lompoc, California. So I drive up there. Game starts like, I probably watch the first couple innings of the game here. It's 3-0 before I leave home. I get in the car. I've got the game on my phone, listening to it as I drive up. I get there. I'm headlining the show. Show hasn't started yet. So I'm like, oh, okay, cool. I'll watch the end of the game here at the bar. I'll get myself some food, get myself a drink. I'll watch the game at the end of the bar. It's actually I was like, the timing is going to work out perfectly because this game should be over right about, 5, 10, maybe 15 minutes before I go on stage. So I'm sitting there and there's like 2 comics maybe before I go on. 9th inning. It's 4-3, I believe, in the 9th. And I literally had a vivid flashback to this show where I was like, Blue Jays aren't winning a lot of games in this series, 4-3. And I was like, man, am I about to be proved wrong, or is somebody about to hit a game-tying home run? And literally, as I'm thinking that, Rojas, game-tying home run, 4-4. extra innings, loss. And I was just like, yep, they didn't win a game where they scored less than 6 runs. They had 4-3. They had like proving Joe Prano wrong in their grasps. We're going to win game 7 4-3, you dumb big-nosed bitch. And then, nope, blow it, loss. Insane.
It's a
And
tough one.
I was rooting so hard for the fucking Blue Jays, especially in the game 7. But, not to toot my own horn, I said Dodgers in 7. I want to pick the Blue Jays in 7, but Dodgers in 7 is what I went with. I said they're not winning a bunch of these games 4-3. They got to score 6 runs to win. It's pretty spot on with this World Series in retrospect. And the team that I said was inevitable because, and I put this on Threads yesterday to piss off a lot of Dodgers fans. I said, if you take the combined salaries of the 6 pitchers who pitched for the Dodgers last night, they'll make $1.345 billion. I was like, the Blue Jays should get rings just for forcing a game 7.
Is that the same number? Because I saw a post. I actually had a favorite. I'm looking at it now. This is from game 7. So, are you talking about all games?
No, just the 6 guys who pitched. And it's really 4 guys because the 2 guys that weren't the super mega star free agent signings each make $800,000.
Yeah. That's this post. Same thing. Dodgers used a $750 million pitcher, a $182 million pitcher, a $136.5 million pitcher, and a $325 million pitcher to win the World Series tonight.
Yeah, and then 2 guys who were making $800,000, $1.345 billion.
It's not good, man. So obviously I watched the game. And just like you, I was rooting for the Blue Jays and just crushing that home run. And then the Blue Jays had so many chances, man. They just had so many chances. I knew. I was texting my buddy from Toronto that I went to college with, and I was like, was it the top of the 8th? Or I'm sorry, the bottom of the 8th when I think the Blue Jays got a leadoff double and they didn't score. And I was texting my buddy, they need that insurance run, man. It's just like, if they go up 2, I feel good.
Yeah.
They need that insurance run and they didn't get it.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh. But then even in extras, or was it bottom of the 9th, they had bases loaded with 1 out. And then again in when they went down 1 in the 11th.
Listen,
they had chances.
No doubt about it. They had chances. I mean, the play at the plate on, the forced play at the plate, a horrific secondary lead. I know that's been broken down at length. I mean, a horrific secondary lead, which their base running killed them the whole series. The whole series, their base running killed them. And there was opportunities for the Blue Jays to win this series many times over. But when all is said and done, and you can say, yeah, we left opportunities, which they did. I just said that. So, but when all is said and done, it comes down to a game 7. And we've talked about Dave Roberts' incompetence through the years. We're now at a point where Dave Roberts there's no opportunity for Dave Roberts to be incompetent, because in a game 7 of the World Series, when you pull your pitcher, you just go with another $300 million bullpen guy. You go with another $182 million. 4 massive starting pitcher ace signings pitched in game 7 of the World Series. They had Ohtani, Glasnow, fucking the Yamamoto, they had Snell, and they had 2 short stints by bullpen guys. That's when the Dodgers went into last season. Everybody was like, oh, well, they signed all these guys. It's a lock. It was a lock. They add guys this year. It's a lock. Like, baseball has a parity problem. It's not a question mark. It's a fucking sure thing. Now we're in a weird spot with it because this was a very exciting World Series that crossed the international border, and it was Canada, U.S. Like, this was an exciting series. I'm assuming it was a well-ish watched series because they're two pretty major markets. I'm assuming also if you consider the Canadian, Toronto essentially owns baseball in Canada, so the whole country roots for them. Great series, well-played series, exciting series, star-driven series, all the things, but you have a parity issue in baseball. You have a salary cap issue, and now we get into a situation where, like, is there a work stoppage for them to sort this kind of thing out? Everybody said, "Oh, and Major League Baseball Players Association will never let it happen." It's like, well, listen, it's happened in every other sport.
And don't. So here's my thing.
But my point is that baseball has done this a couple of times where they're in the midst of success and they shoot themselves in the foot because they have a work stoppage. But there's a lot of complaining about the salaries and the salary divides. And what are you going to do? Like, I tweeted that yesterday or threaded it yesterday, and somebody replied something along the lines of me. It was like, nothing's wrong with baseball. This would ruin the game. And this, I'm like, you're comparing the sport of baseball to basketball and football that both have salary caps and are both globally more dominant than baseball. The NBA dwarfs baseball worldwide. The NFL butt fucks it in America. Like, it's not even close. For all the excitement that the World Series had, I bet you more people will watch the Monday Night Football game tonight between the fucking Cowboys and the Cardinals.
Well, maybe not with YouTube TV issue.
Why? What's going on with YouTube TV?
Disney's in a huge negotiation with YouTube TV. They didn't air any of the college games this weekend.
Wow.
And if it happens, then no Monday Night Football, which would kind of be unheard of. But anyway, that's a side note.
Yeah. Listen, it's crazy. It is what it is. But, I love baseball. And it's funny. The best part about where I sit in life is people are like, you fucking sore loser. The fucking Blue Jays have the 6th best. You're just whatever poor ass team you root for. Can I go? No. Sorry. I'm a Mets fan. To start the year, we had a bigger salary cap than the Dodgers. To end the year, we didn't. But we had a bigger salary. We had a bigger payroll than the Dodgers to start the year. I want a change for baseball, despite it not being beneficial to my team. So that's the difference between me and Dodgers fans and me and Yankees fans and whatever. I want what's right for the game of baseball. You guys want what's right for your team. My team benefits maybe more than any team by there not ever being a salary cap, because we just started the process that the Dodgers started in 2012. The Dodgers went 8 years before they won a world championship, and that was the COVID championship. They went 12 years if you take the COVID thing out of there. And they're now just hitting. Now at 12 years and 13 years, they're just hitting. The money has changed our farm system. The money has changed our free agency. Look at the players that were contributing to the Dodgers all these long playoff runs all these years. And now it's gone. Now it's 4 free agent mega deals pitching for you in Game 7. The 2 people on the roster that are fucking from the system, Will Smith and Max Muncy. Max Muncy played like dog shit the entirety of the playoffs. Will Smith obviously had a massive home run. Those are the 2 guys. You look around the diamond, it's nobody. None of the Chris Taylors are gone. The fucking Corey Seagers are gone. All the guys are gone. You're just hired guns. By the way, you're playing within the rules of the game, and that's totally fine. Good for you for winning a World Series. But when you're a fan, you just need to say, that's what's happening. We are not a better run thing. We have more money, which makes us better run. I am a fan of a team that just started a process 4 years ago that the Dodgers have now gotten to the point where it's sustained championship success 12 years in. So I'm still 5 years away from the team growing itself from within to the point where they'll be the Dodgers, and I'm still arguing against it, despite being the most tortured baseball fan alive. Because I care about baseball, you care about your fucking team winning.
So, as a casual baseball guy at this point, this was my takeaway watching that game, and then thinking about all this stuff, because obviously I was thinking about it, and I was seeing all those posts about the money that just those pitchers from Game 7 were being paid.
$1.345 billion.
It's a lot of money. So, like you said, I agree. The Dodgers, like, kudos to them, hats off to them. They are playing within the rules. They got the money, they spend it, they want to win. That's good. But like my takeaway as a sports guy was like, this leaves me with a shitty feeling. You know what leaves me with a shitty feeling? Because I'm just gonna say it's not fair. So the numbers back it up. I just pulled it up while you were talking in ChatGPT. Going back to 2010, the average rank of the World Series champ for payroll is 8. So it's top 10. So basically, you ain't winning unless you're spending.
And here's the other aspect of that. The World Series, we're talking about, look at the Dodgers. And it's amazing how many people have rewritten the history of what Dave Roberts has been for the Dodgers. The Dodgers missed the playoffs in the first year after the Guggenheim Group took ownership. They have not missed the playoffs since. Yes, you have 3 World Series now, but you have 2 in the last 2 years, and you have a COVID World Series. The Dodgers have the World Series they've had despite, and this isn't an argument, choking in the playoffs. But the reason the Dodgers have 3 World Series while choking in the playoffs is because they've had the sustained success that comes with having a payroll that outspends everybody in baseball to get there every year. You have an opportunity every year. Every year, they take your ball and they spin it on a roulette wheel that has 6 or 7 teams or 8 teams in it or whatever it is. And sometimes your number comes up and sometimes it doesn't. A budget does not guarantee you a World Series, but what a budget almost certainly guarantees you is getting into the playoffs and having a chance. And now we've gotten to the point where the last couple years, the Dodgers were like, hey, we get in this thing with all the money and we don't win it. Now what? And they're like, give Shohei Ohtani $700 million. Get every pitcher, just like get every pitcher. Just get every starting pitcher available. And listen, of course, there's guys. I live in LA, essentially. I live in outer LA. LA is great. It's a great place to live. It's certainly a great place to live if you have money. It's an easy sell. Los Angeles isn't even as polarizing as a New York or as a Florida or as a Texas. LA is the easiest sell to a guy who's just like, hey, you want $75 million a fucking year and to live in Los Angeles? A lot of these guys are from the West Coast. Easy for them to come back. A lot of these guys, I mean, the heart and soul of this Dodgers team is from Japan. Their biggest hitter, their biggest pitchers are from Japan. Easy sell to come to the West Coast. But you're just at a point now where we're going, yeah, okay, the Blue Jays have the 5th highest payroll. I'm not arguing, by the way, that like the Dodgers have some crazy advantage over, but it's a matter of there is no parity in baseball whatsoever. And it's why football's dominating you.
Well, that's what I was getting to. I was going to say, like, and I know this is just on a personal level. When that game ended, I didn't have a good feeling. Now, granted, I wasn't rooting for the Dodgers, and that's what they would say. You were rooting against them. But my point was, I don't have that
But why
feel.
are you rooting against the Dodgers? You lived in LA. You have a fucking rainbow Dodger hat. You used to go to Dodger games all the time. Why are you rooting against Andy? You're Mr. fucking rah middle America patriot American. Your fucking family is all military. Why are you rooting for Canada over the Dodgers? Where you lived?
Well, for all the same reasons that many people were. It's just
right. So it's not. It's
they have all this money in his payroll, and I do. I love Dodger Stadium.
So that's my point. My point is,
I love going to Dodgers.
My point
games.
is when somebody says to you, "Oh, your butt hurt because you were rooting against the Dodgers." No, I was rooting against the Dodgers because of this.
Yeah, but and what I was gonna say is like just the feeling. I don't have that feeling after like Super Bowl or the NBA Finals. I had the feeling just in my system when I went to bed that night, and I still have it of like, this isn't fair.
People by the way, people had that feeling in the NBA when Kevin Durant joined the Warriors. People had that feeling in the NBA when LeBron and Dwayne Wade and Chris Bosh joined together for the Big Three. And guess what?
They lost.
Both of those things happened within the
rules,
confines of the salary cap.
Well, and that's the thing. It's like
so you can say all you want. LeBron's a fucking greedy bitch. LeBron took a pay cut to play for the Heat.
I mean, it's such a simple solution: a salary cap and a salary floor. It's just such a simple solution. And again, I don't think it matters. Like, let them have a work stoppage. If and not that I'm trying to side with billionaire owners, but to me, it's not even about siding with them. It's about siding with the future of a sport. If they want this thing to get better in the long term, you just need a salary cap. I mean, I don't know what else to say. Again, like all those pictures, it's insane.
And listen, again, I want to reiterate a couple things. Toronto had opportunities
for sure.
This series. Toronto is the 5th or the 4th or whatever highest payroll in baseball. Toronto has signed, $500 million Vladdy Guerrero. But when all is said and done, this World Series came down to a couple plays here and a couple plays there. And when you look at it that way, you go, oh, it was anybody's series. But guess what also came down to? It also came down to the fact that you got a gem of a performance from a guy in Game 3, a guy in Game 6, and a relief performance from him in Game 7 that you signed last year coming out of Japan for $325 million that went to you. And this is how it went down. This is not hearsay. This is not conspiracy. The way it went down is Yamamoto got offers from other teams, and his plan the entire time was, I want to play in Los Angeles. I'm going to take the highest offer I get to Los Angeles. If they top it, I will go there. He took them $325 million. They matched it. He ended up in Los Angeles. And now you can say, well, people just want to play for a great organization. No, people want to play for an organization that's in the playoffs every year for the last 12 years and competes for a World Series every year. And the reason that they're doing that is money. The end. No one, and we've been through this on the football side of it, no one in their right mind, including people who live there, if you put them under a lie detector test, would rather live and work in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania than New York City. None. Zero. They don't exist. It's not a person. Unless you're selling,
there's some.
Unless you're selling, I don't know, unless you're in the business of selling dairy at gas stations, there's no angle where you're like, I'm a dairy farmer who sells to gas stations. Okay, this might be better for you. But there's no one in their right mind. But Saquon Barkley didn't go there because he prefers the city. He went there to win. That's why he chose it. That's why Yamamoto chose it. I will go somewhere that's going to pay me more money unless you, who can win, offer me more money. And they're like, oh, yeah, we'll match whatever offer you get. We'll match. This series does not come down to a play here or a play there without Yamamoto on the Dodgers.
Yeah. Well, people make the argument, well, what about those Rays runs or those Brewers? The Brewers are the best record in baseball. None of these teams won. That's always my counter. None of them won. None of them won.
Not only
and the Brewers got their ass. The Brewers got swept. The Brewers got swept in the NLCS. Wasn't even close.
There's also so much more. There's so many more layers to it when you consider the money comes into play in so many other situations. Oh, we pitched the kid. By the way, the kid we're talking about made $325 million, pitched in Game 6 and pitched in Game 7. There's a lot of teams that if they gave somebody $325 million, they're straight up not pitching him in Game 6 and Game 7, no matter what he says, no matter what a doctor says, no matter what a fucking truth serum says, no matter what anybody says, because they're like, listen, we have $325 million in you. The World Series is important, but if you get fucking hurt, honestly, the World Series won't exceed the value of what we're having to pay. The Dodgers like, bro, we already made back the Shohei Ohtani money.
Yeah.
If Yamamoto gets hurt because he wins us a World Series pitching on no days rest, well, fuck him. I'm sure there's a Yashinora in Japan that wants to come over next year that will just give his contract to. Who gives a shit? Buy forever. We don't care. We roll in money. We are a conglomerate of billionaires that have joined together to own a baseball team. And it's a business, and good for them. Again, not shitting on the way that they're running their business. They're very, very smart to run their business this way because it prints money. It wasn't a evil or terrible or cheating thing when Taylor Swift's dad bought out 80,000 copies of her first album to make her go platinum on the fucking record label that he bought. It was smart business. Look at where she is now. You spend money to make money, but it's not fair.
Did he do that?
You don't have the same opportunity as somebody else. The Rays don't have the same opportunity as the Dodgers to win the World Series. Some chick with a guitar in fucking Nashville in her garage right now doesn't have the same opportunity as some chick whose dad bought her records.
I didn't know he did that.
Yeah, it's all a fraudulent fucking scam. But listen, again, smart business.
They need to do something.
Well,
I mean that's it.
But then again, now we have the double-edged sword. They need to do something, but goddamn, you have momentum.
What's their momentum though? Realistically, you already said it. There's going to be more people watching tonight's Cowboys Cardinals Monday Night Football than that Game 7.
Yeah, but it's also a major sports league in the United States. Right? It's not like, well, fuck it, then I guess we'll just like let it rot. Like it's not like it doesn't churn out money. It's not like it doesn't.
I'm not saying that. I'm saying just call the chicken. Play. It's a game of chicken. Call it with the players.
Right, and then we have a work stoppage, and then the momentum is, baseball is like on its,
But that doesn't mean just because you have a work stoppage. I don't think that means the momentum's gone forever.
Well, there's been a couple of work stoppages in baseball, and it took a whole lot to get people back into it after that, including fucking the steroids and the home runs and the whatever. And then that was a whole. Here's the thing.
Yeah, but sometimes things have to get worse before they
just have a sliding cap and floor that continues to, just like the NBA. You look at what these teams are making, you raise the cap, The cap, it's not like the cap's not going down. NBA cap just keeps going up. Salaries just keep going up. There just needs to be a limit. And then there needs to be a floor. Because here's the thing. There needs to be parity.
But also,
if there's not parity, no one, the general consensus doesn't give a shit. That's the way it is in every major American sport, North American sport. I don't know what goes on in European soccer. I don't know if they have caps. I don't know if they don't have caps.
But also, even with the caps, I mean, that's the running joke in the NFL. The salary cap doesn't exist because they bring in smart people with money and accountants and people who know how to finagle the money. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like you can make a cap and also be able to do things where you're paying all these guys.
Well, that's the whole other thing. It's like the Dodgers fans going like, technically, we didn't even have the highest payroll in baseball. That was the Mets. Well, fucking Shohei Ohtani's on your payroll for $2 million. What are we talking about?
Yeah, exactly. No, I know, man. They got to do something. End of the day, they got to do something. I mean, if you polled just 100 strangers, 100 Americans, I think it'd be overwhelming. 100 baseball fans across the country. I think it'd be overwhelming that people would say they want a salary cap and a salary floor.
Here's who wouldn't say it. Dodgers fans, Yankee fans,
Mets fans
that,
Cubs fans,
unlike me, don't have a soul and actually care about baseball more than they care about their own team. Trust me, it will be the most devastating timing of anything that's ever happened that baseball decides to have a salary cap in the next 5 to 10 years. When I've existed for half a century on planet Earth, rooting for a team that had disastrous ownership situations, and then suddenly has one where the guy's like, oh, yeah, we're going to build it from the ground up, and we're going to have a farm system. We're going to be whatever. And I can take on all the money I want, blah, blah. And they're like, salary cap. But the difference between me and every piece of shit Dodgers fan that's on the internet pretending it's not real today, and every piece of shit Yankee fan that's been pretending that salary issues aren't a thing for the entirety of the existence of the organization, I love baseball more than I love my team.
Yeah. Well, again, they got to figure it out. It's like, it's funny when then you look right now at the NFL and you say, you wake up today, it's halfway through the season, and you're like, man, this is like one of the most wide open. In fact, I'd argue this season so far is the most wide open that I've ever seen in recent memory.
Yeah, in recent memory, it's certainly up there because it seems like every week a team that seems to be like about to make the leap into their own thing loses, or a team that, I mean, like we're 2 weeks removed, a week removed, I don't even know what it is, from the Chiefs being Super Bowl favorites and Patrick Mahomes being MVP favorite.
He was MVP favorite before last night.
That's what I'm saying. And now he's MVP favorite.
Now it's Josh Allen.
Yeah.
And Stafford's moved up a lot. And Baker's been, and Sam Darnold's moved up a lot.
Sam Darnold's hilarious.
Josh Allen, Patrick Mahomes, Drake May, Matt Stafford.
Where's Flacco?
He's not on it. So which I'm shocked because Bengals fans said Burrow deserved the MVP last year. And Flacco's putting up the same numbers. Which to me, I don't know, creates a conversation. This is not me trying to hot take. It's only 4 games. But I just find it interesting when you have a competent QB with those receivers. I mean, we played the game with Baker Mayfield. Are we ready to do that? Are we ready to say put the catches these guys make, the yards after catch these guys can do? Can you take 10 good QBs and plug them in the Cincinnati Bengals offense and they do what they do every week like Joe Flacco does?
Well, what are we even talking about? Like, where if you were just to go, take the entirety of, I don't know, take everybody's starting quarterback and everybody's backup and throw them out on a field together in their fucking pads. And we're drafting teams. How many picks back and forth before you got to Joe Flacco? Like, where are you taking Joe Flacco? Like, when are you taking Joe Flacco? You're not taking him in the top 10. You're not taking him in the top 15. You're probably not taking him in the top 20.
No.
So, listen, is Joe Flacco like...
This doesn't mean he's better
right,
than Joe Burrow.
Right. Of course he's not. But he's always been a great deep ball passer.
Gets rid of it quick.
But, I mean, the idea... I mean, look at what Sam Darnold did last night. He has probably the best receiver in football at the moment. I mean,
better than Jamar Chase. Come on.
I mean, when you look at their numbers, every week in and week out, this guy's fucking whatever. But it's like he's up there.
Okay, he's up there for sure.
But he doesn't have two of them.
No. I do wonder, like, what goes through a Joe Burrow's head at this point. On multiple fronts. Hey, wow, this old Joe is putting up the same numbers as I did with this offense. And he's watching from the sideline, and then is he also watching statistically, one of the worst defenses of all time. And I don't know if it's worse to watch it when you're not playing, just in street clothes on the sideline, or if it's worse while you're playing. I don't know.
Well, they had a great shot of Jamar Chase late in the game where when the Bears threw the pass that went for like, it was just like the look on his face was like, I can't believe that just happened.
There was a video of him walking in the locker room and he said, he screams, just get one fucking stop.
Yeah. Oh, okay. I didn't even know that.
Oh yeah, dude, this wide receiver, we've seen it, right, with every great wide receiver for the most part. The wide receiver, Jamar Chase, and he held it together, I think, for the most part, from what I saw in the post-game press conference. But, like, we're like, how close are we to just, like, again, just dude going off? I mean, the numbers, I took some screenshots. These are some quick numbers. Like, this is how bad it is. The Bengals have given up at least 27 points in 8 straight games since the NFL merger. The record's 9, so they're one away from tying that. Most points allowed in the first 9 games, again, since the merger in 1970. The Bengals are tied for second all time. All time. Giving up 300 points. And then here's Flacco's numbers. This does not include his last interception, the Hail Mary. But, I mean, these numbers are amazing. 74% completion percentage, over 1,200 yards, 11 touchdowns to 2 interceptions. It's pretty amazing. I mean, it's funny. How can you not laugh? I mean, how can you not laugh at, like, a defense being this bad? And I texted you and Justin. I was like, the Bears are going to win now. That nope. Dude, it's so, you know, I got a buddy who's got great seats for his company, a great club level. He texted me yesterday.
Well, wait, what did you texted us? The Bears are going to lose.
Yeah. I was like, Bears got the onside kick. They're going to lose. The Bengals got it. But I had a buddy text me asked me to go to the game yesterday, and Brittany's brother had a thing too, and I'm just like, the thought of being down there, no way.
I mean, it's you went to Chiefs Rams at the fucking.
I did. The
I mean,
difference is
47-42 or whatever it was.
yeah. I guess the difference is those were good teams.
Yeah. But I mean, if you love like old school Big 12 football or whatever, like, you're like Oklahoma, Texas. It's 47-42. They're about to go in overtime where they're going to score 14 more points each.
You know what I just love, and you and I talk about this a lot on our on this show, like the 25-year-old who just like discovers like a Tom Green clip from MTV and like post it on TikTok, and they're just like their mind can't handle it. Like it's just so funny. Like young kids will discover stuff from whatever it is, something in the pop culture world or TV or movies or music, whatever, and they post it. That's kind of what I'm seeing with young Bengals fans, and it's so funny of them being like, "Hey, we have a pretty bad owner, huh? Like this de facto GM guy, Duke Tobin's pretty bad, huh? Hey, is Taylor pretty bad?" And you're just like, because they saw again 2 years in a row.
Bro, I just did this meme about fucking Taylor Swift. All the people who hated her new album. Like, I was like, people realizing today that Taylor Swift sucks. And I put up the clip of the guy from Field of Dreams going like, "Hey, when do these ball players get here?" And the sister like laughs.
Yeah.
Like, oh, they've been here. We've been trying to tell you.
But even not only like young people, like I'll see like again these like super fans will be, and you're just like, we need a complete overhaul of the organization. You're like, dude, you had 30 years of evidence with again a 2-year run. Yeah, so it's I don't know.
Yeah, but you know what? Here's I'll this is not to defend ownership in any way, because I don't. Is there GM one of the kids or some shit like that, or like,
dude, you know who the GM is? I mean, it's hilarious. The Bengals de facto GM, his name is Duke Tobin. He's been with the team since '99. He got into the NFL. It's a nepo situation. The Bengals are it's all nepo related. So his dad was the former GM of the Colts. His dad was the infamous, I believe, Bill Tobin, who went at Mel Kiper Jr. I don't know if you remember that one draft. It's like an infamous clip where like he calls out Mel Kiper Jr. when he was the Colts GM. Like, what do you know? You're just basically you're a TV guy. I'm an actual GM. So he did like a couple years with the Colts. You know, daddy got him in, which whatever. He got him into and then he's been with the Bengals for not as a de facto GM that whole time, but he's been with the organization for 27 years.
right? When we could talk about ownership, we could talk about when we're talking about all this stuff. The bottom line is we're a couple of guys in our fucking shed in our basement in hoodies with fucking podcast equipment, and we're not unlocking some secret briefcase full of gold in Pulp Fiction when you go defense, running game, protect your quarterback, strong offensive line, strong defensive line, run the ball, but have an accurate quarterback, doesn't turn the ball over. And fucking Duke Tobin's son or whatever is like, pass the ball a lot, don't protect anybody, give up 60 points a game. It's the new NFL. And you're like, what is like people fucking the reason people suck off Bill Walsh after death is like the teams that win are not doing things that are a whole lot different than a Bill Walsh West Coast offense, run the ball.
It's true. Sean
open
McVay.
Up fucking passing game, play defense.
I mean, that's the thing. That's actually
so the thing is just like you are you're incompetent on a level that's like beyond comprehension to just have a guy in charge. Like here, what should happen in like NFL fucking things like, hey, we're just gonna go around the table and take some ideas on like, we got Joe Burrow, like what's some different directions should we go? Like we, have some money this offseason. I think we should load up on wide receivers. I think we should not boost our defense at all. Just try to beat everybody 46-44. I'd be like, cool, get the fuck out. You're fired. Leave your key card. Leave your fucking playbook. Get the fuck out. You're incapable. It's insane that you've made it this far. Who are you related to?
Yeah. No, I agree. I mean, that Bill Walsh style is so true. The same model is been used basically by the Niners in the Shanahan regime or Sean McVay, or I mean, obviously the Colts got their ass kicked yesterday, but it's like that new Colts team this year: play some defense, run the ball, don't turn the ball over. Don't turn the ball over. Which, bro, I mean, the Prano curse on Daniel Jones yesterday.
I don't even know. You put that in the thing yesterday. I replied with the what? I replied with a 50 Cent meme. I'm like, what are we talking about? What do I have to do with Daniel Jones at this point?
Because last episode,
first of all, I picked the Steelers to win. Second of all, I was like,
hold on. Last episode,
yeah,
you were like, in which I understand because he has played great. You up until last game, and everybody has a bad game, but you were all like, saying, "Oh, everybody came at me with Daniel Jones." I'm saying you put the stink on him, and then he each played terrible yesterday. Now the whole team did.
Yeah, but you and I'll take it one step further. Here's the thing: the thing about Daniel Jones that I said the whole time is, nope. Joe Prano never argued he's Joe Burrow. Joe Prano never argued that he's fucking, Peyton Manning. I was just like, what are we talking about when we take a guy, he's in a shit situation, and then we act like it's entirely his fault? Now, you could argue that yesterday is a lot on a guy who turns the ball over 5 times, but counterpoint, why are we back into the situation where Daniel Jones doing that? Jonathan Taylor ran the ball for fucking 3 yards a carry on 14 rushes. He had 45 yards. Like, the Steelers got the Indianapolis Colts away from what they've been doing in success. The Indianapolis Colts do not have an elite quarterback. They don't have a guy I ever argued was an elite quarterback. They run the ball. They play defense. They don't turn the ball over. Now, all of a sudden, you're not running the ball that well. And now all of a sudden you're trying to force things. Now, all of a sudden, this guy who's not an elite quarterback is turning the ball. Now, 5 turnovers is bad no matter how you slice it. And I'm not saying he didn't play horribly. I'm just saying the idea that even this is sort of exactly in the argument that I was making, which is like, if you judge this guy by the worst of his days, sure, everybody's fucking horrible on their worst days. What the argument for Daniel Jones is, when he's on this team where he doesn't have to do all the things and he doesn't have to, where they're not putting the weight of the world on his shoulders, he's competent. Now, listen, you go back to the conversation that we were having before. If it came down to like me, do I want Joe Flacco? When we go to our drafting, am I drafting Joe Flacco before I'm drafting Daniel Jones? I don't know. Maybe, maybe not. It kind of depends on like what kind of team. But that's where we're at, where it's like you have these competent quarterbacks. Now, Joe Flacco is a Super Bowl winner. Joe Flacco on his best day was better than Daniel Jones on his best day. But Joe Flacco's 41 or whatever the fuck he is, and Daniel Jones isn't. My point is, none of these guys are in the conversations with the Josh Allens and the Patrick Mahomes and the Matt Staffords and the whatever. And also what Daniel Jones isn't, despite people wanting to put him there the whole time, is he's not fucking Nathan Peterman, and he's not even fucking Tua. Like, he's just like middle of the road, fucking competent. When the team's good, get you by quarterback. Now, I'll also argue this: Daniel Jones might be, when you're talking about a team that's now 7-2 and gonna have a high seed, absolutely might be a weak spot when you get into playoff games. When you get out playoff games and you're playing playoff teams, absolutely, he might be a fucking weak spot. Guess what? I'm over here arguing, so's Jalen Hurts.
That's crazy to me.
I'm not comparing the two of them. I'm just saying, when you look at a teams and you go, if the Colts have a weak spot, Daniel Jones, it's not their defense, it's not their running game. If you're trying to figure out how to beat the Colts, make Daniel Jones make a play. That's not a criticism of him. Now he's trash.
Well, by
the way, is what I said about Russell Wilson the entire time too.
Well, the bigger question for me is yesterday's game just an any given Sunday moment, or is it like, oh, the Colts have been exposed somewhat?
I think it has been the Colts, but what I think it was in exactly what I said going into the game as the opposite, which is, if they do this, if they go in there and they win 38-17, then it's over. Then there's no question yet, because you're going sturdy, well-coached NFL team, veteran quarterback in Pittsburgh. That's like, that has the makings for a game where you get exposed a little bit. It is essentially the type of team that you're going to face in a playoff game. And the difference between Major League Baseball, which we just talked about, or the NBA, or whatever, every single game in the NFL essentially sells out. Everybody shares their fucking gigantic national TV deals. It is the league where it's Super Bowl or bust. And the only way that you win a Super Bowl is by winning 3 or 4 games against playoff quality teams. So the Colts play in the AFC South, which is sus at best and always has been. They've had a pretty easy schedule this far in the year. Their record, if they only were playing playoff teams, would be wildly different than 7-2.
Yeah.
So, what it exposes them as is a team that's, certainly has some holes when they play a good team. Do I think that means that the Steelers are the obviously better team than the Colts? No, I don't think that. But I think the Steelers are always a playoff team or just outside a playoff team year in and year out, no matter what. Mike Tomlin might be overrated, but it's not because he's not a good coach.
Well, I wonder. I was thinking that though, watching the game. I was thinking to myself, like, do Steelers fans see this game and they go, "Oh, great, here we go again. We're gonna go 10-7, lose first round of the playoffs, and Tomlin keeps his job." Like, what's the goal? What the realistic question for a Steelers fan? Like, what is your goal for this year? I would say to win a playoff game.
I mean, what does that accomplish if you're a Steelers fan?
But then that was my second part. What does that accomplish? You just keep Tomlin around.
I actually think that if you're the Steelers
long term, because you have Rodgers. We don't know if Rodgers is going to play next year.
Right. I think if you're the Steelers, and this is being realistic, your realistic thing as a Steelers fan is like, let's win the division, get a home playoff game, and just hope Aaron Rodgers loses his mind, gets crazy hot. Anything's possible. Any given Sunday. NFL. Crazier things have happened. I think if your goal is not the Super Bowl, then what do you even have Aaron Rodgers for? Yeah. Because making a playoff game and losing, winning one playoff game, just missing the playoffs, that's all the same thing for the Steelers, a middle of the pack draft pick.
That's true. I mean, there were some huge surprises yesterday for me. Like,
I feel like what's crazy is I fared fantastically financially in my betting yesterday, but I feel like I ate absolute dick in our picks.
He was an update forever. I'll be honest. I don't know.
I haven't just my sense was, but I don't know if that's true. Sometimes I've been wildly wrong on that. I'll be like, oh, I ate dick, and then they're like, oh, you went 10-6 or whatever.
I mean, I was shocked the way JJ McCarthy and the Vikings played. I'll be honest.
Well,
I know that's a division game, but like, I thought the Lions were going to whoop their ass.
Me too. But also, I am less shocked. The Vikings are a part of it. It's no doubt about it. And Jayden McCarthy coming back off of injury, and we've talked about their defense and their good, a well-coached defense and whatever. But at this point, let's just set them aside. At this point, nothing about what the Detroit Lions do from week to week surprises me at all. I just think paper Lions.
Yeah. Well, that division is just like what you can't figure it out. I mean the Packers. They looked great that second half against the Steelers.
The Packers are one of the biggest enigmas in the NFL right now. And you can't in good conscience be like the Packers are still this like NFC East or NFC team to be reckoned with, because how many terrible games have they had?
I can name 3.
Now again, they do have the feeling. There is something about them, just like a couple years ago when they beat the shit out of the Cowboys on the road in a playoff game, where you go, oh, if they get in though, whatever. But like, it's insane that we're talking about the question mark of if they get in.
Well, that damn NFC West is so loaded. That makes it hard for these wild cards.
Yeah.
You have 3 teams with 6 wins already. I just like I did not see. I mean the Browns, an early Browns loss. I believe that was in Cleveland, wasn't it? It's like a road one. It's a trap game. You're going against a team with a good defense. But to lose at home to the Carolina Panthers and barely put up any points, I didn't see that coming at all, especially with the QB situation in Carolina. That's why it's just been so hard to figure out this year.
Yeah. And I love it. And this is what makes the NFL fucking crazy exciting.
I agree. And again, that's kind of the difference. It's like, even if the Dodgers were faltering in baseball, it's like, come postseason, they got all the horses.
Listen, I don't. I'll have to double check, but let me just this should, I think, tell you, kind of where we stand in baseball. I'm pretty sure Laz and I did a dirty slides to open the year and essentially agreed that the Dodgers are going to win the World Series. Like, the conversation was like, what happens does anybody win the World Series besides that? It just felt like we didn't have a lot to talk about. And I don't know that we did another one the entire year. Like, we had plans to, but it just felt very like, huh. I think it was like, I don't know if the title was like the Dodgers are inevitable or the Dodgers versus everybody or whatever. But it's like, for an hour, we were just like, does anybody beat the Dodgers? What's interesting about this year? Even if the Dodgers don't win the division, don't the Dodgers just win it all? Like, and we're kind of like, yeah, I'll take the Dodgers. Cool, I'll take the Dodgers. And it's like, all right, let's do this again in April next year after the Dodgers win. Football is not like that at all.
No. And even with, obviously, the Chiefs being so dominant the last 7 years as far as Super Bowl appearances, I really don't put much into them losing though. I really don't. For some reason, the Bills had the Chiefs number in the regular season. The stats are there on it, and it's the complete reverse in the postseason. Like that's why I was like, I don't put anything really into the Chiefs losing in Buffalo yesterday, even though I picked them. I just don't. But I do like how in both conferences it really is. It's up for grabs. I think I saw a stat.
With the way the Chiefs have been the last couple years and the way the Bills have been and the whatever, do you think does the Bills potentially having a game against the Chiefs, which right now wouldn't be, it wouldn't be a like, oh, they're the 1-2, they're going to meet in the conference championship. They only like whatever round it would be in. Is there anything where you're like, well, I mean, it does give them a tie break, and now all of a sudden, should they finish with the same record, like that game would be in Buffalo or whatever, if they both win divisions or if they both like would a game between the two of them matter where it's played?
Not to me.
Interesting.
I saw a stat.
The way that game played out, I was like, oh, that feels like it felt weird to me. And I made a bunch of money yesterday on Bills money line. It felt weird to me that game was in Buffalo, Chiefs favored. Never really tracked for me.
Yeah, I can see that. So here's a stat I saw I thought interesting. This just shows how wild this year has been. Through week 9 last year, Bills, Chiefs, and Ravens were combined 21-5 halfway through the season. This year they're 14-11. So it's like, obviously we've seen the Ravens struggles, but the Chiefs, I think we forget, Chiefs went 15-2 last year.
Yeah.
They've got 4 losses this year, and they've lost every single loss has been a 1-score game, where last year they won all those.
Mm-hmm.
And that's basically the difference, is that they're losing them this year. But no, for me, it doesn't matter. I don't care if that game's in Buffalo. You know how this stuff works psychologically in sports. Until you get over that hump, until Josh Allen and the Bills get over that Chiefs hump, I'm going to take the Chiefs head to head. I don't care where they play. Buffalo, Kansas City, the Moon, I'm taking the Chiefs. Yeah, I can generate that shit. We all know.
I mean, right now, Casey's out.
Yeah, they're out.
It's wild.
Again, only half the season though. A lot's gonna have to happen. But even that division, I mean, it's I think
just checking in with you, by the way. I know you said, I know we talked about the inevitability of this happening. But I'm just double checking. You have the Ravens to win the division.
I still do.
Okay.
Now that win goes a long way, a huge way for the Steelers yesterday.
Not just to win, but I'm saying, like we both kind of counted on them winning that game. We had that factored in. We were having this conversation.
We both picked you're right. We both picked the Steelers.
But what about how the Steelers looked in that game?
They looked good.
Yeah. Now they have a Chargers. They have a Sunday night Chargers game in LA.
That'll be all Steelers fans.
Yeah, well, that's for sure. And then after that, they have Bengals Steelers. I already hear the Bengals fans talking about how they're going to upset that game. I can't. I'd like to bet on the Steelers right now in that game. And then Steelers Bears.
Wait. You don't think that Bengals D coming off that bye?
D coming off. We win this game. We're back to 3 and everything.
I mean, you know what's funny? The Bengals are 3-6. They're all 3 of those wins were like, there's not a convincing win in there. You're like, you could easily be 0-9. No, you're not. You are what your record is. But like, you could very easily be 0-9. I don't think Bengals fans are doing that anymore.
No.
I mean, Justin did buy a Joe Flacco jersey.
Justin's an insane person. Justin is a straight up battered housewife at this point.
Oh, yeah. I think most of those fans are.
He loves me. He didn't mean it. I shouldn't have bought a Joe Flacco jersey. He didn't mean to kick me down the stairs.
You know why I think the Ravens win though? That division.
And he comes over, he's like, I bought a Joe Flacco jersey, baby. Let me.
Again, the Ravens, they get 2 games against the Steelers. They have to win both those, which will be tough. I still think the Steelers D is just such trash. I mean, here's what's crazy about the Steelers. They have 2 huge wins. Like, of their 5, they won at New England and they won against the Steelers. Like, their 2 wins are against the 2 top seeds right now, which is crazy. And I think they have, I don't know if I'm correct in this, I think they got a combined 11 turnovers in those 2 games. You're not going to lose games when you're getting 5 turnovers. I don't know. I'm not convinced. I think they're too old. They're D. Those are old dudes. But like you said, I mean, what if Rodgers goes on a heater in the playoffs for 3 games to get to the Super Bowl? It's like, what?
Yeah, I mean, I don't think he will.
I don't either.
I'm just saying that's what you have to be. That's the only reason that you have Rodgers. You don't go and get Rodgers if you don't think you can win the Super Bowl. Because what's
Yeah. No, I totally agree. I'm trying to see what other games I was. Oh. No, never mind. We already talked about the Ravens Dolphins. I was going to say, like, how does McDaniel still have a job?
Yeah.
We got to talk about Jayden Daniels, though, playing. What are you doing, man? You're down 30 points in the 4th quarter? That was such a gruesome injury. What are you doing playing him? Why?
It's yeah. And it's crazy. And then these coaches and they're like desperate. Like, I mean, I saw it. There was a Giants were down 20 points or whatever late in that game. They just straight up called like a naked quarterback run. And I'm like, your season's over. You want your career, you want your coaching tenure to be over? What is your end game here is to what? Make this a closer game. That helps you. That doesn't help you as much as losing your quarterback will hurt you. If Jackson Dart got hurt running to try to pull within 10 points late in the football game, Dable wouldn't be in the facility this morning. But these coaches, and it's like, yeah, like that game was well over. He's already missed multiple games this year.
And he was such a questionable hire to begin with. That's gonna and already is biting them in the ass. It's like they make it all the way to the NFC Championship game his first year, which is gonna buy him some years. But like, I never understood the Dan Quinn retread. Never understood it. I mean, this is the guy known for blowing a 28-3 lead. Is that Quinn?
Yeah.
It's Quinn, right?
Yep.
Like, that's what you're known to blow the biggest lead ever in Super Bowl history. And the Commander's like, oh, this seems like a good hire. I'm not hiring you just based on that. I'm just not. No way. I mean, I'm not saying this is what's going to happen, but it's like you're starting to create an RG3 situation from rookie year to next year. Now, granted, RG3 didn't, again, go to an NFC Championship game, and I think Jayden Daniels is a lot better. But how many times are we going to say it on the show? The injury bug doesn't leave you if you get it early. Look at Joe Burrow. Look at Tony Romo. These guys get injured early. They don't suddenly get. They don't. Their health doesn't get better as they age.
The situation with the NFL, we talked about. I keep going back to baseball here. Here is when you talk about baseball. If you spend money, you will have sustained success. If you say, "Hey, I just bought the Chicago White Sox. Okay, I am going to own this team for 15 years. 15 years. I'm just going to see what I can accomplish in the next 15 years. I have brought in all these smart people, and I need to know if I want to win the World Series at some point in this 15 years, hopefully multiple times in this 15 years. Guys, I'm going to go around the room, and you tell me what I need to do." Joe Prano, we pulled you away from the Dirty Sports Podcast. We gave you a hefty sum of money to be here. What do you got? Outspend everybody. Outspend everybody, not just in payroll, but in your finances across the board. Spend more money on your stadium. Spend more money on your farm system. We should build a city in the Dominican Republic that serves good food and gives people gloves and shoes. And we should, I don't know if you guys know how the international player system works, but there's not a draft. We can just, if they just come and live at the facility that we build, we then own these human beings and they play for us. And we could get them as young as 10 or 12 or whatever. Just spend all of the money up and down this system. And I promise you that in the next 15 years, we will compete for a World Series. And if things break the right way, we'll win it. All right. Thanks. Do you have anything else to say? No, not really. You could just pay me out my whole salary right now and I'll be on my way. And they're like, all right, cool. So I take my check and then I go over to the New York Jets. And they're like, oh, look, this guy. I've heard he had some real good ideas for the White Sox. Joe, we're the New York Jets, and we want to be good sometime in the next 15 years. Okay, first things first, we need a quarterback. Every team in this league is built around a good to great quarterback. If we get a good quarterback, we're going to need a great team around him. If we get a great quarterback, we're going to need a good team around him. But one thing's for sure, we can't have a mediocre quarterback. We can't have a bad quarterback. We can't have an average quarterback. We need a good to elite, good, great, or elite quarterback. And depending on which one of those we find, I'll tell you what we have to do with the rest of the team. If we have an elite quarterback, we have a lot of room to play around. We got a lot of different ideas we can go with. We have a great quarterback, a little less so. We should probably still have a great defense, and we should protect him. If we have a good quarterback, we're going to need fucking just absolute dogs in the trenches. And, we're going to need to fucking carry him with like a running game and give him at least one security blanket receiver and whatever. So quarterback. And that's the NFL. The NFL, the baseball, the football equivalent of salary is a quarterback. And these teams, that's the thing. I don't know who the Giants coach is going to be next year. I don't know who the Giants coach is going to be 5 years from now. I don't know, whatever. I know the Giants have a quarterback now. I know that. It's year 1, game 6. I already know the Giants have a quarterback. Jackson Dart, unless they run naked bootlegs down 20 when the game's over and get him fucking concussed or get him a broken collarbone or get him whatever, he's their quarterback for the next 10 years. He is their quarterback. I've seen this was never, you want to talk about like Joe Brown never gave up on all I ever said about Daniel Jones, like, man, we're so quick to throw this guy under the bus, but never was I like, this guy's a quarterback. Jackson Dart is the Giants quarterback for the next 10 years. Now you can start figuring out what your team is. There's one gigantic question mark that goes on your whiteboard. Once you fill that in, you can fix everything. The Commanders found that question mark and filled it in with Jayden Daniels last year. Now you got to keep him on the fucking field.
Yeah. And it's been, I mean, even before this injury, it's been bumpy for him all year. It's not good. But also look what they did too. We obviously we harp on the Bengals all the time. Like you were in this contract. I don't know. I just felt like with an older wide receiver, it was like I'm sure Jayden Daniels was vouching for McLaurin, but like I don't know. I just like look at some of these guys. The blueprint is there again. The blueprint is there on how to build a team. I don't know why some people don't try it. You might try it, you might fail. You might fail on your draft picks, some of your free agent signings.
And guys might get hurt. Like, you could be a
Yeah.
Chargers situation. The Chargers are decimated by injuries,
Decimated.
especially on their offensive line.
The Ravens were early in the year, decimated by injuries, especially on defense. I get it. Injuries happen, but like, I don't know. You know, that division, the NFC East now, it's like, okay, we know what the Eagles are. You have an up-and-coming quarterback, obviously, for the Giants we talk about with Jackson Dart. Now he's already injured, Jayden Daniels. It's like the Cowboys are kind of like in their own world, just being idiots.
By the way, I love the Cowboys tonight. I don't know. The news made its way to you, I'm sure, but it's Jacoby Brissett Day.
Oh, I know it is.
Yeah.
Because Murray's always hurt, dude. Another guy. Always fucking hurt. You threw the bag at him. Why? Just why? I like the Cardinals more with Jacoby Brissett, actually. How did we get there? It started like Josie and the Pussycats.
I think I said Josie Brissett, and then people were like, it's Jacoby Brissett. And then I was like, it's Josie Bacoli. I don't know.
Hilarious. What's that? I haven't looked at. What's that line at now?
I got it when it was Cowboys minus 2.5.
It's 3.5 now. Yeah.
I went heavy on Bills money line, Rams cover, Cowboys cover.
Yeah, the Rams beat the fuck out of them, huh? I mean, Stafford's having a hell of a year. Nobody's talking about it. I mean, if they win, that is a tough division. If they somehow win that division and he continues the numbers he has, you'd be hard not to make him the MVP.
It would be,
and he's got to put up with that wife every night.
Ugh.
Make him the MVP.
Yeah.
Kelly Stafford going on her podcast. Oh my God. We got to cap these athlete podcasts at a certain point.
Does she still do that? Does this come across your like thing? Like, I haven't seen any Kelly Stafford shit lately. Or is it like, what's she up to?
Let's see. Let's put her in. What's old Kelly Stafford up to? What's she saying these days? Come on. What's the latest?
Maybe there is no latest. Maybe that's why he's playing so well. Maybe he was like, maybe just shut down your podcast. I'm a fucking.
No, I guarantee I'm going to put it. I guarantee she has a podcast still. Dude, everybody's got a podcast. Wait, she had one called. This isn't the same one. Is this a different one? This is the morning after.
I have no idea. What did you say? Why are you asking me?
Hold on a second. Why is this not? I guarantee she still has a pot. Why? Hold on. Okay. Yeah, bro. Episode 4 days ago.
Let's go.
The morning after with Kelly Stafford. Her husband is a Super Bowl winning quarterback. His daughter is obsessed with dinosaurs. Kelly Stafford and her bestie, Hank Winchester. Wait, so she's got, I'm assuming it's some gay dude? Know a thing or two about pressure, the spotlight, and keeping it together for their kiddos. This guy worked in TV. I don't know. Maybe he's not gay. But I mean, there are stories about life and raising kids will not only have you laughing, but they'll make you feel connected to the chaos we're trying to navigate. So sit back, pour a splash, and let's have a time. I don't know, Joe. I don't know what to tell you, man.
I don't know either.
But yeah, she still got a show.
Okay.
Hey, Kelly, maybe you want to do a collab? We can talk about raising kids together on the Andy Ruther show.
Hell yeah.
We'll do a collab. You know, these people, I just want to say, and I aired this out. I aired this out on my show, but like, I'm going to just kind of re-air some of it. Like, these people who talk about raising their kids can all get fucked.
These people.
But it's like, guys, it's fine. Like, you have the money. It doesn't bother me. Like, you have help. Stop acting like you don't have help, though. To us poor folk here over here. Like, it's just like, again, it doesn't bother me. Like, you got the nannies, you got the, like, whatever. Just stop acting like, I couldn't stop laughing. I was watching that. I saw a clip of Kim Kardashian talking about, you know, raising her kids and how difficult it is with Kanye. And I just was like, come on, dude. Like, raising you're
I mean, this is a bit of a stretch.
What?
You know, you're going like, oh, listen, I saw Courtney Cox saying that it's tough, you know, getting up in the morning and getting your kid to daycare. It's like, Courtney Cox, you could put your kid in a helicopter and get him to daycare. It's tough. I have a feeling it might be tough to raise your kid when his dad is putting out the song called Hail Hitler.
Well, no,
like it's a little bit different.
That's like a side part of this.
I don't think she was like saying like he doesn't help me pack their lunch.
No, she was no
saying Kanye West is their dad. I listen.
She willingly got into that. Though.
My relationship. I struggle in my relationship at times because my wife's dad's a real asshole. He's not Hail Hitler Kanye West.
Look, I know Kanye's.
He's not like fucking like hookers he has under mind control on like boats in a Venice canal while wearing a fucking blackface mask.
My point was just even talking about like raising the kids and this, and again, it's like, come on. All I want is these people to be like, you're not putting the peanut butter and jelly sandwiches in the school lunchbox. That's all I'm saying. Just a minute.
She's like, I just wish Kanye would pick them up from school sometimes. He's like, bitch, I gotta write a song about sucking my cousin's dick. She's like, oh, okay. Can you imagine being Kanye's like 10-year-old daughter and like going, remember how savage kids were in school? It's like, so your dad sucks dick, huh? Like,
no, they're not. Come on. They're not talking like that, whatever rich school they're going to. They're not getting bullied. No way.
You're insane.
I'm not insane. They're not getting bullied. They're all rich kids. Like, I don't think they're getting bullied.
You don't think bullies happen in rich schools? I got news for you, buddy.
Well, no, I'm not saying that I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I don't think.
We had a kid get bullied out of school. He got bullied to the point he left school. Because he came in one day and he said he jerked off with bacon.
I got so many questions.
And then it
Like
was like
cooked bacon with the grease?
No, uncooked bacon, and then chicken, and then all of a sudden people were like making chicken sounds at him and bacon sounds. And then he got bullied to the point. By the way, he was just like making a gag, and all of a sudden he got bullied out of school for making it. Can you imagine if he had came in and he was like, "Yeah, my dad sucked his cousin's dick and made a song about it." And we were like, "You mean your dad, Kanye West? We know, dog. We have Spotify. He just put out the dick sucking song."
No, I don't think they're getting. I don't think she's getting. I think they just like nip that shit so hard now. The bullying, the potential for bullying. It's not like when we grew up, man. You could just be sad. I mean, when I grew up, we had rip war. We literally had something called rip wars. They were basically like they were roast. There's no other word. They were roast. We literally 5th, 6th, 7th grade. I remember doing it in basements.
I think it's a different cult. I think kids are getting cyberbullied to death and like.
Oh yeah, that 100%. But I'm not saying no. Bullying exists. No. Don't get me wrong.
By the way, I just can't wait to have kids. Like, don't you fuck with my kids? Like, dude, we're gonna internet warfare. Like, I'm like, oh, kids are bullying you in school. It's like, well, they're bullying me online. I was like, all right, we're about to fuck their shit up. Isn't their mom own like a boutique or whatever? Let's Yelp bomb that bitch.
Oh yeah, that's one way. But what if the parents are good parents?
Well,
yeah, well, sorry, Mom. You just lost the boutique biz.
yeah. Fix your kids.
I know your kid's a piece of shit. It's not your fault, but no more flowers for you. All right, we do have a Dirty Sports hotline over here. 859-832-0478. I'll pull it up here. Give a shout. And I did not curse the Colts. I saw some people being like, Ruther's going to curse them now. I didn't pick them to win last week, so there's no curse.
How are you curse the Colts? First of all, I love now we're getting to the bottom of it. We're getting to the bottom. You're just trying to get ahead of the blame game. No, I'm just sitting at home on a fucking Sunday.
No.
I know every once in a while I know some shit's gonna come through about the fucking. I'm like, guys, I want every time I get a text that has you and Justin in it. I'm like, guys, I don't know how to break this news to you guys, but none of the rest of the world gives a fuck what's going on in the Bengals game. There's 8 people in the world.
I disagree at this point, by the way. I disagree. The defense is so historically bad. I think people can't get enough of it.
Bro, the majority of the people are just like, oh, Caleb Williams fantasy fucking numbers and like whatever. Like no one's like, oh no, the Bengals blew it again. Like fucking like the rest of the world, like they're just like, yeah, Bengals suck. Bengals are gonna blow it like year in and year out. Like no one really thinks we cover the Bengals more than 98% of.
No, I disagree. I think again because they had that couple back-to-back recent success. I think with the Joe Burrow thing and the Flacco story, and again with them being historically bad defensively, like next level, it's turned into like a Jets sort of thing.
I tuned into the end of the Bengals game because it was the last game that last in the
early
window. Before that, I was not doing a lot of checking in on the Bengals. I was like, who gives a shit? And then all of a sudden, I'm like, all right, here we go. Ruther and Justin going to do a little Bengals. The Bengals fans. I'm somehow in a Bengals group chat is essentially what Dirty Sports needs to know. I'm in a Bengals fan group chat. And then all of a sudden it was like, yeah, pray no fucking curse the Colts. I was like, what? I literally replied with fucking 50 Cent. I was like, fuck me. What the fuck?
You were hyping up Daniel Jones so big last episode. That's all I was saying.
All I was saying was that it stands 7-2. All I was saying was all the people that were so angry that I wouldn't just like come out of the show and put a gun in my mouth and be like, I was wrong. Daniel Jones is trash, and kill myself. That was like, you can look at the chat history. Like, that was the only thing that people were going to be acceptable about. I was just like, and I don't judge anybody until I see them in a situation where I think it's fair to be judged, you know?
Okay.
And now, by the way, we're going to, here's the great thing with anybody who wants like a Joe Prano definitive take on Daniel Jones. We actually get it now. This season will tell us every single thing we need to know about Daniel Jones. I'm pretty sure I already know exactly where he's at. I kind of have the whole time, but the truth is, it's like, yeah, the same as when he was on the Giants, on the team that beat the Vikings. Like, you have a good team and a halfway decent defense and a running game. He'll be okay. But when push comes to shove, he's probably the kind of guy, he's probably the kind of quarterback that will fold, when he plays elite defenses and playoff quality things. Because I was never arguing Daniel Jones was a guy who was a top 5 or 8 quarterback in the NFL and could overcome being mismatched in a playoff game. There's not a lot of those guys in the fucking league right now. And there's less than there were before. There's not a ton of QBs in the league right now where I would be like, oh, in a playoff game, this team is better, but I like, this guy to overcome that. Like Mahomes, Josh Allen, Stafford. We start running like a guy like Jordan Love, unproven to show that that's, going to happen. I'm not like about to be like, oh, Bo Nix is going to fucking upset the Kansas City Chiefs because, fucking Bo Nix. Like, we're running low on guys. Jayden Daniels had that ability last year, and if anybody remembers, I did pick him in that game because he's special, but now he's also out indefinitely.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. I mean, I just pulled it up. You're all right. It gets a lot tougher for them.
I mean, if anybody cursed anybody yesterday, it's like, what'd you do to CJ Stroud, dog?
Me?
Yeah.
I talked about the Texans D, which held their own yesterday. Another game I lost. Thank you, Davis Mills. Fucking A. I think that's it. What do you got going on?
JoePrano.com for shows. I've got it here in the thing. If you've been watching this on YouTube the whole time, you must have seen this. New Brunswick, New Jersey, November 20th. I'll be headlining that show. What a great weekend of shows this weekend was. Thank you guys for folks who came out. And I got a bunch of stuff coming up. New York. Dates are already on my website at joeprano.com. More will be added. I've already got a bunch of spots at the stand. I think I've got 1 or 2 shows there on the 13th, 2 or 3 shows there on the 15th. I think 2 more on the 17th. If you need to know, if you want to come to a show at the stand in New York and you go to my website and you're not sure what show to buy tickets to, slide in my DMs. I'll help you out with that. New Brunswick, New Jersey, again, headlining our set on Thursday, November 20th, the 21st, and the 22nd. I'll be with Rocky Dale Davis at Stress Factory in New Jersey. The whole following week, I believe it's the 24th to the 30th. I'll be at Brad Garrett's in Las Vegas every single night of that week, except for Thanksgiving. So if you're in Vegas, come to a show. If you're a dirtball in Vegas and you want to play some golf, hit me up. All that and more. JoePrano.com. Bunch of great shows coming up for Jay. We have fantastic, longtime, legendary comedian, 10 Lettermans under his belt, Alan Havey, on the show tomorrow. Check that out. If you're a wannabe stand-up comic, he has a great web series called Everything I Know About Stand-Up Comedy. Check that out. Jeff Pearlman, our boy, coming up, talking about the Tupac book, Michael McKean. So, yeah, JoePrano.com, at Joe Prano on all social media. Jay Moore Podcast, more stories. Check him out.
Cool. DMs are always open with me, Andy Ruther. All right. Have a great week. See you guys on Friday. And as always, stay dirty.